Hello, I'm Michael Atkinson. Welcome to Prime Time, a podcast where the aim is to talk about workplace health and safety because we want to make the workplace a safer place. Joining us once again, our third episode of Prime Time is Brad Houlihan. Brad, good to have you back.
Thanks, mate. Thank you.
Really interesting topic to me because it's something I probably didn't know a lot about or know was out there. So I'm fascinated to learn a bit more from you is personal cooling equipment. Now, when I think of personal protective equipment, we've spoken about other podcasts about hard hats and steel cap boots and that sort of stuff. This is another level of protecting yourself, protecting your workers.
Yeah.
We talk about cooling equipment, so we'll go through some of these products, but I want to talk to you and ask you as to why cooling equipment is important, why people on the work site should have it, in addition to things that help with hydration, which we've spoken about before. So just give us a little bit of background, like what's cooling equipment?
Mate, it's very applicable to the workforce because not every job is the same job, and not every job has the same working conditions. And you have to remember as well that while some people are doing like us in an office is very fortunate, some guys are out on site, but some guys go deeper. Some guys are foundry workers. Some guys are working confined spaces. Some jobs that just have to get done and that you can't stop working. So it's important, when you start talking about heat stress, you've kind of gone past dehydration. Your heat stress is when your body starts to get around, say, the 40-degree mark. And if it stays around 40 degrees for 30 minutes, you can start to lose brain function. You start to cells start to die, and you can even cause death. So it doesn't take much. But going back to what we're saying is that it's applicable because some jobs have to get done. So using the right PPE and safety gear, to help reduce heat stress is very, very important. Yeah.
When I think about cooling equipment, I think about seeing like AFL players, footy players wear those old school ice vests, when they're playing in pre-season games or early in the season. But when you think about it, like that's applicable in a game of footy in a hot climate, but that's, 2-3 hours that they might be out there. They've got people running water to them, that sort of thing. Like, it's more important on a work site because in Australia we hit high temps. People are out there for long hours in the day.
Exactly, yeah. Well, they're doing the same thing in sport as well. They're just trying to cool, regulate their body's core temperature because that's what it's about. Is you work in hot environments, or athletes that work in hot environments, but people who are on job sites, out in the middle of nowhere, as we said, guys work in confined spaces, their body temperature is going to increase. Their working environment is different than what everyone else is. It's 50 degrees, 60 degrees. So you have to have something to help regulate their body temperature. So it's applicable in a lot of industries, yeah.
I mentioned like the ice vests that I've seen like footy players wear and footy teams having that sort of thing. So I want to bring up this vest here, cooling vest. I'll throw it on because it's pretty stylish.
Should
show
fit you.
How applicable I am at dressing myself.
The size medium, it should fit you.
Good thing it's sleeveless.
Yeah.
Mate, when the first thing I put this on, I immediately noticed the cooling. Like we've put water in this. A couple of like specific things, like how much water do you have to put into it?
Mate, so it's an ergonomic evaporative cooling vest. It's new technology. There's pretty much nothing like it here in the Australian market. You only put about 1 litre of cold water in it, and the way it's worked and the way it's designed is, not everyone has access to cool facilities. When they're working, some people might, lineys, they might be out for say 3 or 4 hours working in remote areas, fixing up power lines. They need to stay cool. They don't have a cold tap to use something like an evaporative cooling towel or a bandana. So that vest, the way it works, it actually works on your body's evaporation. So your heat, as you sweat, you get hot with the help of wind as well. It actually cools your body's core temperature. And the way it works is you just simply, as you saw, you just put water in it. So it's a pretty fantastic piece of technology.
We're sitting in an aircon office here, and I watched you fill this up before, and you just literally put it on the kitchen tap. That's the water. You don't need to like put ice cold water or anything like that. And we're in an aircon office, and I can feel how cold it is. That's a huge benefit if you're on a hot work site or you're in a confined space where there's a heated element near you, something like that.
Yeah, as we said, regulating your body's core temperature is very important, and that's why through the Ergon range we've got so many products to reduce heat stress because biggest thing we speak about is worker satisfaction and productivity. You use cooling equipment because no one wants to be doing a job. I definitely don't want to be doing a job where you're absolutely sweating it out and you're not enjoying yourself. As we see, those jobs have got to get done. So if you've got something that can help you make your experience a little bit easier, mate, it's the way to go. So we always say, you're looking at investing in your workers. You want to keep your workers safe. It increases their productivity, gets the job done, and workers love getting, looking back and saying that their companies are working for them. Thanks for that. We do appreciate the support, because those guys that wear this gear, mate, they're doing hard yakka, that's for sure. Yeah.
And the beauty of this is it doubles as another PPE, like a high-vis vest, which is important on 100%. Every work site.
And you've got you've got those mesh, the mesh on the side as well. It's designed to be wearing close to the body, because at the end of the day, again, you want that cool temperature. So, mate, it's a great piece of technology. Yeah.
Now that's one item.
You can't
really
keep that
like
as well.
To wear. I can't keep that.
You can't keep that.
Oh, but I look good. Well, when stereo comes around and it's fluoro theme.
Oh, we can see we go. Yeah.
Pretty impressive piece of equipment. Just you talking through like some of the detail of technology, which is probably deeper than we intended to go. But what are these other things we've got? Like, it's not just about wearing like a cool vest and ice vest.
This is one I actually I just activated the brake. Give that one a go. So that's the same technology. It's an evaporative cooling towel. So it's designed to be worn around the neck, anywhere around a gland, to just again cool the body's core temperature. So you just activate it with water, drain it, shake it off. It's washable, reusable. Mate, we distribute a lot of those products, and again, it's designed to be used to half an hour, 45 minutes. Again, you wash them and change them. So it's a great product leading to summer.
They're pretty durable too. Like I'm not the biggest bloke, strongest bloke in the world, but that's more durable than just a wet piece of cloth or a wet rag.
Mate, these products from Ergonon, they're designed for for working environments. They've been designed and tested in harsh environments. So yeah, we definitely couldn't put anything into the Australian market that was going to fall over or not do our brand any credibility. That's for sure. Yeah.
One thing that really struck me, you said before, is like the productivity of workers. So these are individual, personal things that, like, if you're wearing it, you feel the benefits. But from a higher up level, from a boss level, a corporate level, it makes sense to me that you'd want to invest in these things, because at the end of the day, what you're really going to get is more productivity, people being able to work longer, more effectively, because they're not suffering from heat stress.
Yeah, of course. And that's, you invest in workers, you invest in your business. And we're seeing a constant trend as well that, at the start of summer, people buying, for example, a lot of squincher, but then it just gets hotter, as it does every year in Australia, and gets hotter earlier. It just gets hotter and hotter. And sometimes hydration is just not enough. So that's where we get your cooling PPE. We see a wave of influx, people going, hey, what else can we do, to keep us cool? So we are fortunate that we are seeing a growth in this category, which is a good sign that the Australian companies are looking after their workers and looking after their productivity. Yeah.
Do you still find, though, even though companies are getting better at looking after their workers, that there is a bit of a mentality out there you've got to change? Like, when people think of cooling or preventing heat stress, preventing overheating, they probably just think about water. Maybe they've moved on to squincher. They probably don't think about the next level of taking care of workers, which is this stuff.
Yeah, 100%. And I think a lot of it is just because people are quite green. People are unsure about what suits me, and that's why what we try and do, as much as educate the workforce, but also work with them. What do you guys do for your work? Because as you said, every job's different. A lot of people just aren't sure what's going to best suit them, and that's why we always encourage companies to try the product. Come and try this product, because 9 times out of 10, if they're working somewhere harsh, they try the product. They come back and they buy it, because it's the products do what they say they're going to do. Yeah.
As I said at the beginning, this was a topic that I was really interested in, because it's something I probably knew was out there, but didn't think about it in the workforce in that realm of using it and it being important. And the more I've listened to you talk about, as I said at the beginning, with footy players, and that's where I associated, like, it's more applicable. Yeah. Because you might be on a work site for 10 hours a day.
Oh, mate, these guys are using in footy, in sport or code, like they're only for an hour. The people that are using that need to be using this, as we said, are people who are isolated and have to work 5, 6, 7 hours. The guys, as you said, doing the hard yakka.
Brad, good to have you on again. I look
Cheers,
forward
buddy.
to borrowing this when stereo comes around.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, mate. Another great episode of Prime Time. We thank you for listening. Make sure you subscribe wherever you get your podcast from, because subscribing means you won't miss an episode. Give us a rating too. It just boosts it up the list a little bit more, and it lets other people know that it's out there and they can catch this stuff as well. Feel free to visit the website, www.pryme.com.au. If you've got any feedback, jump on the socials, LinkedIn or Facebook. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Tell us what you'd like to hear. Send us some questions and we'll address those in future podcasts as well. Until next time, thanks for listening to Prime Time.